your buyer outreach is going to depend on the kind of buyer you're reaching out to, right? So if you are finding your buyer, say on the MLS, because you're noticing that they're listing flip properties, that outreach to that buyer would be more along the lines of, hey, I noticed that you just listed a property that you flipped on the MLS, and you might be ready to purchase your next one. I've got tremendous wholesale opportunities I'd love to send to you. What email address would you like me to send those to? That's one version. You might also find a buyer. You might also be doing buyer outreach by looking at the tax records and seeing that they've been involved in cash transactions. In that instance, you always want to tell a buyer how you're finding them, right? Like why you're reaching out to them. What about them made you want to reach out to them, right? So I noticed that you've been transacting in cash, or I noticed that you've been flipping properties, or I noticed that you own multiple properties in an LLC and it looks like you're a landlord, and I'm going to provide to you even better opportunities than the ones you already own. So that's one version of how you reach out to buyers, and that's typically to buyers that are already in the business. If you're reaching out to a different segment of buyers, like high net worth buyers, say you're looking to create new real estate investors through doctors, lawyers, accountants, or just general rich people, right? For instance, like we do a lot of outreach to people who live in $1 million neighborhoods in the area. Why? Because a lot of millionaires, my neighbors, people around here, they're like doctors, or they're lawyers, or they're accountants, or they're dentists. Now they have high net worth. They've got access to a lot of cash. But a lot of these guys are so busy in their day-to-day lives that they have no idea where to park their money. So what do? They invest in the stock market. They buy crypto. And guess what happens? They lose their shit. They lose their money that way, right? So if you can give people an opportunity to invest in real estate, everybody is hot on real estate right now. Why? Because inflation has gone crazy. Have you seen the price of lumber lately? We are witnessing inflation on a day-to-day basis. You usually don't get to see things increase as quickly as we're seeing them increase right now. What's the purpose? The coronavirus had us print quite a bit of money, right? Through the stimulus and the relief that we gave American citizens through this crisis, we printed dollars upon dollars upon dollars, not to mention the 17 trillion we had in debt prior to that. An inflationary event was set to happen, okay? Now, people of high net worth, they are trying to protect their cash against inflation, because $1 million in the bank today doesn't buy what $1 million bought last year, right? So if I have $1 million, or if I have a couple $100,000 and I'm a doctor, wouldn't it make sense for me to buy real estate with that, because that asset is protected against inflation, meaning that it rises with inflation? So if I'm reaching out to new investors, people that haven't necessarily given me an indication that they're buying and selling real estate, I'm going to provide to them, hey, I can give you an opportunity where you buy a property from me that's a discount the day you close, and B, it'll help you protect your capital against inflation. They'll be interested in having that conversation. So those are the basic methodologies that we're going about it, either already existing real estate investor, where we're just going to explain to them how we noticed that they're in the game. This is how we noticed you're in the game, and I can give you better or equal to opportunities as the ones you're already involved in. Or new investors, where I'm going to explain to them why I need to be their new best friend.